They look great, they fit great, they perform great. There's really nothing bad that I can say about these pieces. The brightest headlights that you could possibly get on the market, all while still remaining DOT and SAE approved. What's going on, Team Lethal fans? It's Joe here with Lethal Performance. Today, as you can see, we've got a fairly large package here from our friends over at Morimoto, and this one specifically is going to be for our 21 and up Bronco owners. This here is Morimoto's XB LED headlights for the 21 and up Ford Bronco, including the 2022 and up Ford Bronco Raptor. Now in this video, we're gonna be taking them out of the box, giving you guys a proper breakdown of these headlights, and then of course getting them installed on a truck to show you how well they perform, and of course, how well they look. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get them out of the box and show you guys what they look like. These headlights feature Morimoto's wide lens bi-LED projectors that are meant to outshine your factory headlights, regardless of whether you have the factory LEDs on the higher trim level Broncos. These puppies here, thanks to their designing, are meant to be the brightest headlights that you could possibly get on the market, all while still remaining DOT and SAE approved. This particular style of headlight from Morimoto is available in either a white DRL or an amber DRL for that Raptor inspired look. Now Morimoto also has a different designed headlight that does feature RGB function, so if that's something that interests you, not to worry, we will also be doing a video on those headlights as well. Now, like I mentioned previously, these headlights are meant to work with all 21 and up Ford Broncos, regardless of the trim level that you're at. They come with plug and play harnesses, as well as all of the necessary additional harnesses to get those DRLs working. These headlights will also work with the 2022 and up model year Bronco Raptors. These headlights do come from Morimoto with a 5-year manufacturer's warranty, just in case you have any issues with them on your truck. Now, like I mentioned previously, they are DOT and SAE approved for legal on-road use. So now that I've given you guys a proper breakdown of these headlights, let's go ahead and get them installed on a 21 Bronco. All right, so now that we're outside here with the Bronco, we can go ahead and get started with the disassembly of the front end here. Not too much has to come off, but just this front piece here, the radiator shroud, and for you guys who have it, this bull bar here will need to come off since we will have to take some stuff off that's behind it. For the bull bar, you will need a TP40, which is a Torx Plus 40 bit here. It will work with a regular Torx bit if you have a Torx 40. It's just a little loose in there, and you do have a chance of stripping out those heads. However, we do have a TP40 here, so we will be doing that the correct way in order to get this bull bar off. But other than that, you're gonna need a 10mm wrench or socket, as well as an 8mm wrench or socket, and then of course a plastic pry tool to get those push pins out. So let's go ahead and get started. Remove these 9 push pins here from the radiator shroud and remove them from the vehicle. Now with that radiator shroud out, we can get to the 4 10mm bolts that hold on this bracket for this assembly. So now with those 4 removed, we should be able to just pull the grill gently forward here, which should release the rest of the tabs. Okay, there's a tab there. Starting in the corners, I think that's probably a safe. Yep, there we are. All right. So with the camera and the hose unhooked there for the washer fluid for the front camera, go ahead and set this aside. Now on each side of the Bronco, they do have us release one of the tabs here for the fender flare. Just the first one here, which this one's released, then they have us just pull back a little bit and have it released from there, basically just giving it a little free here so that we can get this bottom trim piece out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the other side. And that should free it up just enough to sneak by this plastic piece. All right, so now that we've got all of the necessary trim pieces off here, we can go ahead and start removing the headlight. Now, it looks like here, we got a 10mm bolt on top, a 10mm bolt right here, and then we have an 8mm bolt on the bottom. Other than that, it looks like these puppies should just pull right out and then unplug. Then we can get the Morimoto ones in. You do want to keep track of which bolt goes where, as each bolt is a different style and a different size for each hole, so you definitely want to keep track of which bolts go where. Now, it looks like there is a little push pin back here that's holding this headlight in, so we'll go ahead and, using our plastic pry tool, pop that out. And there she comes. Stubborn little push pin there. There we are. So now with the headlight out, we can go ahead and disconnect it here from the harness and move on to the Morimoto ones. Now before we get the Morimoto headlights installed into the truck, they have us run a few wires in the engine bay here, one going to the fuse box, another going to the battery, and then one that ties the headlights together here. So let's go ahead and route this wiring as it states in their instructions. So now with the fuse box open here, Morimoto states that we need to find fuse number 24. Now, luckily enough, we have a nice little diagram here, thanks to Christy in this fuse box cover here. I'm looking for number 24. 24 is right here, and it looks like it's this one right here. It's a 10 amp fuse. It's basically right almost in the middle here, right above this one bolt that holds it in place. So it says to go ahead and pull that, and then go ahead and tap it with their harness. Fuse tap in. We can go ahead and save this fuse here for future use, or if we want to revert it back. Now we have to route the rest of this harness here to each side of the headlight through the engine bay here. I think I'm going to go ahead and route it here with some of the other wiring and down along this area. Now we will obviously use some zip ties here to secure this, but we're just going to do a rough wiring job here just to get it in the relatively correct area. Go ahead and slide that down here. Go ahead and route the rest of this over to this. Go ahead and replace this cover here. Cover still fits even with that wire going through it there. So now we have our second harness here from Morimoto, which instructs us to essentially hook one terminal up to the positive battery cable and then another terminal here up to the negative terminal using that 10mm nuts that are underneath each cover. So let me go ahead and pop this cover here. Remove one of the 10mm nuts here. Now this one here is only going to run to the driver's side headlight, unlike the last harness, which was on both headlights. Make sure to go positive to positive, negative to negative. And we could just route this harness here down to the driver's side headlight. Now we just have one more harness here left from the kit, which is going to be the crossover harness, and it's going to essentially tie the headlights together for an actual even function. So let's go ahead and route that. Morimoto has us start on the driver's side here and route our way right down here to the passenger side. The end that has the male and the female is going to end up on the driver's side. And we're gonna route this with the other cable that we have here. Route it right down here, loop it under this little snorkel, and down in that same space. Now with all of our harnesses ran, we can go ahead and get the headlights installed and get everything plugged in and working. As long as you count, we got one harness, we got number 2 harness, and then it looks like we just have our main truck harness. Plug and play, you heard the clicks. Make sure everything's out of harm's way. Nice. Let's go ahead and get the screws and mount it up. And just as a little reminder, the 8mm headed bolt here goes on the bottom. The black 10mm bolt goes here on the very top, and the silver one here nearest the grill. Now this one is going to have a couple more harnesses. We got the one coming from the battery here, as well as the one coming from the fuse box. So we've got 1, 2, we got this one, 3. This one here is the one coming from the crossover. 5, the other end of the crossover. We got this plugging into our main headlight for the truck harness. There you go, hear that pin click into place and put the bolts back in. Don't forget those little corner push pins. So now basically we're just gonna put the truck back the way it was, going in reverse order is the way we took everything off, and we're gonna tidy up this wiring before we put that shroud back on. The right spots as well as the clips. plug back in the camera, as well as this hose here for the washer fluid.
All right, now with everything cleaned up, let's go ahead and turn on the headlights, make sure everything works. Nice. Awesome, awesome. And that's gonna do it, guys, for the Morimoto XB LED headlights for the 21 and up Ford Broncos. The install was really simple, only took us about an hour here between all the recording and whatnot. The tools you need, really simple stuff that you guys are definitely gonna have in your garage. We're talking a 10mm socket and a ratchet, as well as an 8mm, some plastic pry tools, and a TP40 bit here if you have this bull bar equipped. The headlights themselves, they look great, they fit great, they perform great. There's really nothing bad that I can say about these pieces, other than they're not amber. I'm a big fan of the amber, but that white DRL still looks pretty good. And of course, they are available in the amber DRL as well. If you guys have any questions or you want to snag these headlights for your Bronco, feel free to click the link in our description, drop a comment below, or reach out with us by phone at 561-753-8105. This has been Joe with Lethal Performance, and I'm out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a nice safe space. Oh boy. I'm gonna put this in a nice safe space here inside my truck. So I might have to use a little something extra there to get that push pin out. I guess I could hit it with my purse. That would do it, right?